this is a staff notation. So if you want to know how to transcribe, this will be your first step. Now the first step is that you need to know the key signature of the staff notation in order to determine the Do alphabet. Now what is the key signature? Key signature is those group of sharp or flat signs that is placed at the beginning in between this treble clef and this time signature, this 4/4. So as you can see, there are no sharps or flat here. So what does that tell us about the key signature? Then we'll go and check the key signature chart. Now look at this chart now. This is 1 sharp, 2 sharp, but this one has no sharp or flat. So the key is what? Key C major. Key C major. So that means the Do of that song is C. The Do alphabet is what? C. The Do alphabet of the music we are trying to transcribe is C. The Do alphabet is C. So know that. Now what's the second procedure? Write out all musical alphabets, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, just like that. And then fix the corresponding solfa notes based on the key signature. So what you are required to do is, here, now that you know that the Do alphabet is C, you now say C is equal to Do, D is equal to Re, E equals Mi, F equals Fa, G is equal to So, A equals La, B equals T, and C Do. No, like that. So that is what the second step tells you to do. Now the third step says know the alphabetical names of each line and space of a staff. So you need to know it you have to know it offhand. You need to know that on the treble staff, the first line is E, the second line is G, the third line is B, the fourth line is D, and the fifth line is F. To remember these 5 different letters, you can use a phrase: every good boy deserves Fanta. It will always help you to remember these 5 different alphabets. First line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line: E, G, B, D, F. Then for the spaces in between those 5 lines, the first space is F, second space is A, third space is C, and the fourth space is E, forming the word face. So that means the first space is first letter F, second space is A, third space is C, and the fourth space is E. So that's all you need to know. Now the last step in transcribing is you start doing the transcription. You start transcribing each staff note to solfa notes, and then you have to separate each of those solfa notes with a comma, just like what I've done. If the first one is Mi, you write M, separate it with a comma. If the next one is Fa, you write it and separate it with. So you separate them with comma in this horizontal manner. Then please note that solfa notes are always written in small letters. Please, the solfa notes, this Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, it should always be written in small letters. Small letter D, small letter R, small letter M, small letter F. So this stands for Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So let's start transcribing. Now look at this first note. Now that we know that this is key C, now this first note is within the third space. And if you remember very well, the third space alphabet is C. So that means this is what? Do. Now the next two, I separate it with a comma. I write Do, I separate it with a comma. I put a comma behind it. Then the next one is this note is on the third line, if you look at it very well, and the alphabet for the third line is B. And what is that? What tonic solfa is B? That's T. Then the next one is on A. This note is on A. That's the second space. It's on the second space, and the second space is A. So how do I know the tonic solfa? A is equal to La. Then the next note is on the second line, and this second line is G, because the first line is E and the second line is G. So this is G. So G stands for solfa, so. So this is so. So the next one is on the first line, and this first line is known as E, and E stands for me. Now this particular one is on a very small line below the first line. Any note you see on a small line immediately below the first line is known as C. So this C is equivalent to what? Do. So you continue transcribing for this until you get to the last note, and which is very simple.